On this video, I'm going to continue a Greek grammatical analysis in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 1, verses 40 to 45. We've been working our way through the Gospel of Matthew slowly, doing a Greek analysis along with a brief commentary. So we are now, if anyone would like to follow along, we are now at verse 40. And it reads, it's Jesus cleansing the leper. Kai erkatai pras auton lepras, parakalon auton, kai ganu peton, kai legon auto, hate antheles, dunasai me kathorisai. In other words, I would render it as, and he, a leper, is coming to him, exhorting him, and falling down upon the knees, and says to him, if you will, you are able to heal me or to cleanse me. Erkatai, kai is just your conjunction. Erkatai is your present indicative middle, third person singular from erkamai. Pras is the preposition taking the accusative in auton. And coming to him, a leper coming to him, exhorting him. Notice a leper was coming to him. He uses, by the way, a historical use of the present. We would probably translate it, he was coming to him. However, it is a present tense, showing probably a historical present. He's coming to him. And Mark does this a lot. Parakalon, exhorting him. Parakalon is from parakaleo. It's the present participle, nominative masculine singular from parakaleo. Exhorting him, the direct object in auton, and ganu peton, bowing on his knees, from ganu peteo. Here we have the present participle, nominative masculine singular again, and saying, another participle, present participle, nominative masculine singular from lego, saying to him, the dative case in auto, that if you will, you are able to cleanse me or to heal me, to cleanse me. Notice on is introducing a condition here, like a third class condition. If you will, theles is the subjunctive, the present subjunctive second person singular from thelo. You are able, from dunamai. This is again the present indicative middle, second person singular from dunamai. You are able to cleanse me. Me is the enclitic direct object of ego, emu, emoi, emet, and the epsilon drops out. Kathorisai is the aorist active infinitive from kathorizo. So if you are willing, you're able to cleanse me, the leper is saying. Kai splang nistes, ektenas tain kera autu, hepsata kai lege auto, thelo, katharisteti. And being compassionate, when he stretched forth, or by stretching forth his hand, he touched him, and he says to him, I am willing, be cleansed. Notice splong nis thes is from plong nidzamai. We have the aorist participle, nominative masculine singular. You think of the aorist participle using luo, luthes, luthantas, luthanti, and so forth. So this is the aorist passive participle, nominative masculine singular from plongnizomai. And having compassion or being compassionate by stretching forth, ektenos is the aorist indicative active or aorist indicative participle, nominative masculine singular from ekteno, stretching forth his hand, he touched him. The root here is haptamai, to touch, aorist indicative middle, third person singular from haptamai. He touched him, and he says to him, Thelo, I will. Here we have two present tenses. Lege is your present indicative active third person singular from Lego, and Thelo is your present indicative active third person or first person singular from Thelo. Be cleansed. Katharisteti is from katharizo. Here we have the aorist passive imperative second masculine singular. So be cleansed. And immediately it says, Kai euthus apeothen autu he lepra, kai ekathariste. And immediately, here we have euthus again. We've been seeing that throughout the book of Mark. Immediately, the leprosy left him. Apeothen is your aorist indicative active third person singular from aperkamai. So the leprosy left from him, apa taking the genitive case here, and then he was cleansed. Ekathariste is your aorist indicative passive third person singular from katharizo. So he was immediately cleansed. The text saying, notice the immediacy of the Lord's healing power. And Mark is putting that in his book for us to see. Then in verse 43, kai imbri mesamenos auto euthus exebale auton. And when he sternly warned him, immediately he sent him back. Notice the kai again, the conjunction, followed by embry mesamenos is from embry ma'amai. Here we're looking at the aorist participle, middle participle, nominative masculine singular. And so when we could say, like a temporal use of the aorist middle participle here, when he sternly warned him, immediately he sent him back. Ekbalen is from ekbalo. It is the aorist indicative active third person singular from ekbalo. So he's warning him to first of all go show yourself, as Moses had commanded to the priests, rather than just going out and making it known right away. But the opposite is going to happen. In other words, he's thrilled about what has just happened to him. Notice verse 44, kai lege auto, and he says to him, Ara medeni meden apes, Allah hupake seautan dexan to here, kai praseneke peri tu katharismu su ha praset taxin mouses, eis marturion al tois. And he says to him, notice lego, again, is your present indicative active third person singular from lego. He says to him, see to no one that you say anything. Ara is from harao. It is the present imperative, second person singular. So see to no one, the dative here, that you say anything, the accusative in Maiden. And apes is your aorist subjunctive, active, second person singular from lego. So see that you say nothing, but depart. Hupage is from hupago. It is the present imperative, second masculine singular from hupago. But go, show yourself to the priest. Se'otan is the accusative, and Dakson is the imperative from Daknumi. In other words, show yourself. It's the aorist imperative, second person singular, to the priest and offer concerning your purification that which Moses commanded. And this will be a witness to them, or into a witness to them. This goes back to the law of leprosy that was commanded, especially in the book of Leviticus. And one healed would go, and the priest then would have to vouchsafe for the healing. And so this is what is happening here in this particular text. This is in Leviticus 14, by the way, where we have those rules. So go, show to the priest, and offer concerning your purification that which Moses commanded. Praseneke is from prosphero. We have the again the aorist imperative, the second person singular from prosphero. So offer concerning your purification, which Moses appointed or commanded. Prasetextoxin is from prastaso, again, the aorist indicative active third person singular, unto a witness to them. In other words, so they can go through what they were told to go through to see if you've truly been cleansed. However, notice what happens. Verse 45 then. Hade exelthon erxata kerusein pala kai diaphe midzain tan lagan hoste meketi autan dunastai phaneros eis palen eseothen al exo ep eremois tapois ein kai erkanta pras autan pantathen. And he went out and began to preach many things. Notice exelthon is from exergomai. It is your aorist participle, nominative masculine singular from exergomai. He went out and he began to preach. Arkamai is the root here, the aorist indicative middle, third person singular. He began to preach many things. Kerusein is the present active infinitive from keruso. You think of luo, luane. it would be the model of the infinitive. So he went out and he began to preach many things and to diaphe mitsein tan lagan, to spread around the word, or to spread about the word. Diaphe midzo, again, is the root. It's another present active infinitives with the ain ending. So he began to spread the word, direct object, in tan lagan. Hosta, here's the result. Hosta, with the result, meketi autan dunastai phaneros, eis palin eseothem, so that no longer he was able to be able with reference to him. Here we have a genitive or an accusative of general reference, which acts as the subject here. So no longer was he able. To be able, we could say, with reference to him. Dunastai is from dunamai. It is your present middle infinitive. You think of luain, luistai. And so here we have the middle infinitive. He was no longer able openly, phaneros, eis palin eseothen, into the city to enter. Eseothen is from eserkamai, the aorist active infinitive, second aorist active infinitive, from eserkamai, to enter, but outside in the desert places he was. And notice in the non-populated places. An ain is the imperfect indicative active third person singular from ami. And they were coming to him from all over. Erkanta is from erkamai. It's the imperfect indicative active third person plural from erkamai. So they were coming to him from all over. Notice this is a wonderful teaching or recording of the power of Jesus to heal leprosy. And when you look at life, Jesus is the great healer. He heals us today from the leprosy of sin by his sacrifice, by his death and resurrection, and by his death on the cross and his glorious resurrection. So, having done this, then we'll continue working through the Gospel of Mark, looking at the Greek text and especially looking at the grammar and doing a grammatical analysis.